Ah, there. Good day. This is the shed again. I'm old guy. Well, if you watched the last episode, I thank you. And I'm back from my trip to Ironbridge. Well, what a trip. I have to say, just a quick mention for the T85, first big trip I've been on it, overnight trip, really pleasant. Had my doubts about this aftermarket screen, as you may remember. At very high speed. I don't know, it's not quite a buffeting, but it gets a bit noisy in the helmet, so I thought, well, I'll have a play with it. But having done the trip, I noticed when I got back, hardly any flies on my visor, and this is covered in flies. So this is actually working. You know, the flies prove it. You know, there's no flies on me, plenty on the bike, but there you go. That worked beautifully well, I've got to say. The whole machine worked beautifully well, I've got to say. On the way home, you know how it is, you've done your trip, you're on the way home, you just want to get home. So the route brought me down a little bit of motorway, not much, I've got to say. What, at top end, I think it's only sort of, I don't know, 15 mile, 18 miles, something like that, not much, next to nothing. And you stick it on the cruise control and it's epic, you just sit there and you enjoy it. I have to say, I have got into this bike in quite a big way. I have been asked, everybody who knows me, and when I turn up on this and they say, the first thing he says, do you miss the grunt of the 1200, do I miss the power? No, I really don't. It's such a nice bike. Not that there was anything at all wrong with the noise. There wasn't. It was a sensational bike for me. I did so many miles on it. I'm not sure I could actually do those miles on anything anymore. So cutting your cloth to suit this bike at this moment in my time, this bike is really ticking a hell of a lot of boxes. I've been a bit of a smart arse with it. I was going to get back, and I now will get back to the TFT screen and the sat nav through the MIA system, is it? Something like that. That is an optional extra that has been fitted to this bike. It's a thing on your phone, an app on your phone, and it'll turn it into a sat nav. It's not good. It's not good. It reacts reasonably quickly on certain things, but it's not the best thing. Your phone drops it every now and then, and it's fiddly and it's a bit awkward to use. So I fitted my Garmin that I took off the Norge. I fitted it to this. Saw a wonderful little way of doing it on YouTube, which you just tuck it into the back of the pod here, and you splice it into the power line for the built-in USB port. Now, what's fascinating was the USB on this particular bike wasn't working. It had blown the fuse under the seat, so I put a new fuse in it, it blew instantly as soon as I turned the ignition on. So the actual USB port bit was shorting out inside. Now I also removed from the Norge an aftermarket USB that had fitted to it, and it happened to fit. So I fitted that, so I've now got my USB, I've got my sat nav, and I now use the USB port on here to power my helmet cam, of which I'm going to show you some of the trip. So the bike is absolutely spot on for me. The gadgets I like the cruise control, I now like my sat nav, I like the USB, the TFT screen's working fine. I love the shift lights. Back in my racing days, I got into shift lights very quickly, much easier than watching a rev counter. And these are sequential, so you can set them where you want. So yeah, I love that. So it's a cracking feature for me. Again, these are all personal things. So right, I'm going to show you some of the footage of the ride, and again I'll be using my boom mic as a voiceover because I can't get the mic to work on the. I'm going to give up on that, I think, on the camera. I'm not going to show you all of it. It was a 3-hour bloody ride. I'm just going to show you a little bit in Shropshire, a little bit around Ironbridge, and then we'll close it off after that. So enjoy my little, or some of my little ride through the Shropshire Hills and the Ironbridge Gorge. I can highly recommend you visit it if you ever get the chance. Enjoy the ride. Okay, so here we are in the Shropshire countryside. I've started this in Shropshire. I haven't done the whole trip, obviously. This is where the roads are really nice. So I've come off the A49, which was a bit of a nightmare, I have to say, because there was dreadful roadworks on one or two spots. If you are going to travel through the English countryside, in fact the UK countryside, you will come across these. I affectionately call them tortoises. They're people who carry their home around with them on their back. I used to get annoyed about it, but now I don't, because they're doing what they want to do. You know, they're on holiday or going for a break or whatever. They've got their push bikes and they're going to have a great time because it's a beautiful place. But you've just got to be patient. Let them do their thing. You get on with your thing. I know our thing is to ride bikes hard through the lanes, but you've just got to let them get on with it. And fortunately for us, we do have the ability to see much smaller gaps to get past than, say, in a car. It must be more frustrating for a lorry driver trying to get on with his job, but for us, just enjoy the sunshine, spot your moment and go. This brings us back to the conversation of, do I miss the power of the 1200 Norge? No. This bike is perfectly capable in the lanes to do this sort of thing. And like I say, you get past the motorhome and you're very quickly up behind somebody else. And this guy is a farmer. He's on his tractor, it's nice and steady. And he's just doing his job, you know, he's just trying to earn a living. So I'm on sort of a break on holiday. So why should I get upset about him earning a living? Now with the tractors it's even easier to get past because they're slower. As this proves, we have the ability and the agility to just pop past things very quickly and easily, and then you just, once you've got past, you ease off your throttle again and enjoy the countryside. This is a wonderful spring day. In the sky's nice, the views are nice, there's no rain or wind or nonsense to deal with. It really is a very pleasant ride. And I have to say, Shropshire is kind of overlooked. And in this country we bang on about sort of the Brecon Beacons and Dartmoor and Cornwall and all these sort of places, the New Forest, and kind of Shropshire sort of gets a little bit overlooked. I know there's wonderful rides across the Yorkshire Dales, for example, and the Lake District, but to be honest, it's hard to beat Shropshire. It's very different. A lot of it is hedgerows, so you don't get to see a great deal at times, but they've got these wonderful little towns, This, I think, if I am not mistaken, and I don't think I am, I'm just heading into a wonderful little town with the great name of Much Wenlock. Now, I don't know about you, but the Brits do have a habit of coming up with some cracking names for towns and villages, and this is one of them. Now, according to my sat-nav, I should be turning off in Much Wenlock and heading for the Ironbridge Gorge itself, and the purpose of this trip. But like I say, the roads are so, well, they're just empty really. Yes, there are one or two cars knocking about obviously, but it's nothing really to worry about in terms of volume of traffic. I mean, look at it. This is an absolutely fantastic ride, and I am thoroughly enjoying myself. And it's like I say, you can't knock it when it's like this. And Shropshire, as I say, I think is a little bit overlooked by all of us. And I think we should just give it a break every now and then and just enjoy it. So here we go, we're continuing to enjoy ourselves into, like I say, I'm sure this is the wee village of town of Much Wenlock. Yep, there it is, there's the sign on our left there, Much Wenlock. Now according to my sat nav, I've got a right and a left in here somewhere, and our next stop, as it were, will be the Ironbridge Gorge, which is the destination. Now I know, because I've done the editing on this and I've looked through these clips before you guys, I know what's coming, and what is coming is a minor catastrophe. Okay, here's my right turn, straight on. This is more or less, this is a main road. Look, see how full it is, you can tell it's a main road. And now I'll be coming into a little left turn. I don't actually get into the centre of Much Wenlock, so I can't show you any of that because I'm going directly to Ironbridge Gorge. But what is about to occur is quite amusing for me, when I thought I had all sorts of wonderful footage. I need to sort out this camera business. Here we go, this is the left turn now, away from the town centre. Like I say, you don't actually get into the town centre, and we're now heading off for Ironbridge itself, or Ironbridge Gorge. Now just up here, the one thing that does happen is, for some weird reason, the camera mount on my helmet decides it's not going to play the game anymore, and I didn't know until I actually arrived in Ironbridge what had happened. And you're going to get the full fury of it, because it's just so irritating when your kit fails you, and every now and then you just think to yourself, why do I bother? But you bother because when it is working, it's great fun. There we go, any second now, and we are just leaving Much Wenlock, and we should get it now. Come on. Come on. There you go. You're now going to get this wonderful view of the sky and all the treetops. Oh well, never mind. So here we are in Ironbridge itself. We're coming down to show you a quick picture of one of the several museums, Museum of the Gorge. We'll now show you the hotel where I'm staying at this evening, and it's lovely. Look at that, now a wonderful place to stay, looking up the road towards Ironbridge itself, and there it is, the bridge. Absolutely magnificent piece of work when you consider how long ago it was, and it's the first ever of its kind. Quick glimpse of my pal Oppie, who I shared the trip with. He's a great guy to ride with. And there's the famous pork pie shop, and our bikes. In there, up there on the wall, are fireplaces. And you see where the floorboards have been taken out, so we've got a great place to park back at somebody's house. And this is in the museum itself. Absolutely fabulous museum. The stuff here is incredible, and you just cannot believe how impressive it all is. And it goes right back to why it was here. All the stuff was here in this one gorge. They had the coal, they had the iron ore, they had the limestone, they had the wood, they had everything here, and the waterway to transport it all. So it really was a great idea. They made an incredible amount of things here, from art through to engineering, proper stuff, to furniture. There's a table here with that is artistic. You imagine all the legs would be at cast iron, but the top is cast iron and beautifully done, you know. And the only reason they did it was because they could, no other reason really. This is the remains of the old blast furnace. They managed to preserve some of it in a new building, but when you see the viaduct and the brickwork, it makes you realise these guys worked hard. And inside this place, when you see the blast furnace like this and these holes, it must have been hell on earth to work there. Absolute hell on earth. This is us leaving the museum. Oppie's riding my bike and I'm doing a bit of filming off the back of it. Never done this before, quite interesting. That's an interesting place on the right there. It's where kiddies can go and learn about the engineering and how things work. We had a little pop in there to just have a look. Brilliant to see. This whole trip has been very interesting. On the right here you'll see these huge big old buildings, the remnants of it gives you an idea of the scale of the foundry as it was. Absolutely fantastic. As I say, we're now going to drop down this bloody big hill, which is the side of the gorge, back into the little village of Ironbridge. And this is the reason, this hill here that you're about to see is the reason why we took the bike. I would never have made it up this hill. Just couldn't walk up this hill at all. I mean, the lens here doesn't really show it, but it's seriously bloody steep. But it was good. It was a good trip up here, and it's a lovely sunny afternoon. We're going to drop down now into Ironbridge, and we will be finishing off our evening with drink, don't you know? Yes, that's what we'll be doing, having a little sup. It'll be good. Back into the village of Ironbridge. There's the aforementioned bridge itself. What a beautiful day. What a fantastic trip I've had. I just love it here. It really is very pleasant. I don't know whether I'll come again because it might spoil this memory, but I really have enjoyed it. It's a very nice place to visit, and I've had a great time. So far, so good. Well, there you go. My trip to Ironbridge. If you liked it, please press the like button and subscribe. Like I say, the more the merrier. Absolutely epic trip. Thoroughly enjoyed it. Had the best weather. Like I say, like and subscribe, and make any comments, especially if you've got any other good ideas for good rides for me to have a go at. Talk to you all again soon. Take care. Old Guy in Shed signing off.